So I thought he had the out for the season 9,000 e-race on when he came back out on Tuesday after getting hurt. And I was like, that's not good because
There's Jalen.
Wednesday,
They're trying to get him.
Wednesday, he had like one of those
the last minute Mario requests.
like,
Yeah.
knee braces that you can get at
So it's
like Walgreens, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was just like one of those little.
No, that doesn't look great.
He had that on Wednesday,
I'm sitting here.
and then Friday all of a sudden he was back in there. So,
Good enough.
works.
like I said,
Yeah.
they're gonna get an MRI, but
Yeah.
if you're back playing, I don't know.
What?
if they even get the guy an MRI.
Hopefully.
Potentially.
So, gave him a call at 10:40, no answer. So we're trying to get a hold of him.
Who?
Jerry.
Senor Q. Okay.
It's tequila. Oh, can't use that one.
We don't mind the wait.
Are you gonna be here? You can go upstairs.
I'll be here.
I'll go upstairs.
Sounds good. I think everything's good for us, assuming nothing is broken.
Well, just text me if you need me to say anything.
Sounds good. I'm just think everything's good for us.
Wi-Fi. Horrible.
My best friend.
Benny or Hyder?
Good. Did he ask you for the Liberty or the Mizuno? No. I was asking before about
But I said,
7
like, yes, it was literally, like, after all out.
She said she can accommodate you some,
She's gonna do the, yeah, that's the night, so I was there rolling or something.
just straight, just you like
one potential
I
option.
mean, it's just simple, DO, you don't want it, you get out.
It's literally gonna be whatever my sports class yesterday, and maybe one.
And
I can't get any fucking Wi-Fi.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many use my hotspot?
Let's
Have
see.
you already asked them to?
I can probably use mine.
I'll check with him over
Okay.
and over and over again, so just want to make sure he has it in-house for you.
Yeah.
Because I want to have what I have here. If you not, it's already there, done waiting for you, okay? Simple.
Cool.
She said it's possible by 12 and 12:30, but then.
Well, I gotta run, I got
Okay, so
Rosemary
what
waiting.
is it, 12?
I never asked for a second hit,
Yeah.
because she's waiting for me out of the store. And I'd love to, but it's like,
I got him.
then I got deadlines, and she thought, okay, you know, I can't do anything.
Yeah, no, I was asking.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, yeah. Here's question.
Coach Moore?
Oh, are you sure?
Oh, Coach?
I'll be Mario over here.
Yeah, Mario should be here.
He called me, I'll be him
Shortly.
over here.
Yeah.
I felt like he was here, wasn't he?
Which one am I supposed to?
You can take the right one, or on the opposite side.
Okay. How's everybody doing?
Good, well, how are you?
Very good.
Let's see. What do you think?
I would hope so after the weekend.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
they can say it.
yeah, good thing, a lot of good things. That's for sure. Not much sleep, but it's worth it.
Thank you.
That's what caffeine's for, Coach.
Huh?
That's what caffeine's for.
I know.
Hey, why are you
I've
on
had-
coffee, not a Diet Coke?
I've had plenty of coffee this morning. And plenty of work all afternoon and so forth.
Yeah.
What time does your day start and end? Like like during the season, like start.
You take recruiting, all that, probably, you know, our guys are going from
Where they still have
6 o'clock, 6:30, between 6 and 6:30 till 9 at night. There. So, recruiting takes a lot of time. Sometimes that's 10 o'clock too.
Yeah.
Because kids, you got different, you know, time zones, and plus kids don't go to bed like they used to. They're not half of them not available until about 9:30 or 10. And then they talk. I mean, we try to talk to 4 or 5 kids a night.
Yeah.
each of us. So and I'm calling more kids now because of, where we're at in the recruiting process. They just fired in an UNLV coach. A lot of people don't know that.
You only got 3 years.
Got 3 years, yeah.
One
So
of them-
they'll decline a bowl bid. So. Yeah, he only got 3 years, I should never fired the guy I got, but I'm glad they did. He's probably not glad they did, but I am. No, I think he's very happy to be here, actually.
I'll try to be, cordial to the media.
Colin was entertaining us.
All right, we are now joined by Director of Athletics Mario Mocha and head football coach Jerry Kill. Mario, you want to start us off with the...
Yeah, I sure will. And I kind of prepared some comments, so I usually don't read off the script, but I will a little bit if you don't mind me moving this. First off, hopefully Greg, Coach Heyer feels better. I know he was sick as a dog today, so we were going to piggyback, but hopefully he'll be back tomorrow so you guys can talk to him. But I appreciate everybody coming, and it sure was an impressive win on Saturday over an 8-win Liberty squad. That was great for our program, and congrats for all the national awards that Diego Pavia is getting, our quarterback. That's tremendous for us as well. I wanted to see if I could clarify today where we are on our bowl eligibility status, as well as us playing a 12th game on Saturday. So kind of two different topics. So let me get through these, and then if you want to give me questions or let Coach maybe make some comments as well. And Braun is back here too, who's got an extensive knowledge of our situation and with the NCAA. So the first about bowl eligibility, you know, we're currently sitting at 5-6, and we've won 4 out of our last 5 games, coming off a huge win over a Liberty team that has 8 wins and was nationally ranked just 2 weeks ago. We today will be submitting an appeal/waiver to the NCAA that the Football Oversight Committee would hear based on 2 points. Okay. A 5-6 record is statistically better than 5-7, right? I'm going to say that as a former baseball player with batting average, or if I'm shooting free throws or 3-pointers. That's one of the things we're emphasizing. The second thing is we did not have an opportunity to play that 12th game. As you all know, when the San Jose State football student athlete was tragically killed, that game was kind of postponed/canceled. And we immediately contacted the only 3 possible FBS opponents that could play us on our bye week, which was November the 5th. And those schools declined. Okay. As an aside to that, we also contacted the 11 FCS schools that had availability on November the 5th, and they all declined as well. Now, subsequently, we've reached out to 3 additional FBS schools who could play us this Saturday, and they have declined as well. Now, look, sometimes it doesn't make sense for them to do it, but we've asked everybody that's possible that's out there. So clearly, the situation of not playing a 12th game was A, out of our control, and B, we've tried every single FBS team in the country that could play, and they said no. All right. So that is the NCAA Football Oversight Committee bowl eligibility piece. So as I understand it, we are currently in the pool with the other 5 and 7 teams for consideration. But we are asking to be put on the top of that list based on what I just illustrated. Now we've spoken to the NCAA, we've spoken to ESPN, we've spoken to numerous people that I won't get into, but that is that piece right there. Do you want me to stop on that one and go to the 12th game then?
Yeah, that's fine.
So I don't know if Coach maybe wants to make comments about that.
Well, the comments that I would have, with the situation is this, and, I'll respect whatever comes down the pipeline, but is, there's no book on a player dying. There's no book on how to handle that situation. There's no book how to handle this situation, and the NCAA is going to face it down the road. You've seen what happened at Virginia, etc. The only thing is with us is we've done everything Mario has talked about, and there's nothing we can do about it. And being really good people, and they know that they didn't play us, and you've heard all my comments on that. But I don't think we should be punished for something that happened that was out of everybody's control, because you didn't play that game, would you win or lose it? None of us know, but the point is that game couldn't be played, and now if say we would have played it, we win the game, we're not having this conversation. And so why should we be punished for that? And that's nothing. I mean, the NCAA's got to hard job on all these things. So I'm just saying, in retrospect, is, fighting for our position. That's the thing, as a coach, you don't understand, with what's happened, because again, it's out of our control. And if it wasn't out of our control and we got beat, it is what it is. But nobody says we couldn't have won that game either. And so that's where it all lies in the fog. But again, in defense of everybody, there's no book on this type of situation. But there's a lot of no book things when like I said, there's no book when a player passes away, how to handle it. I've had to do it twice, but I think we were good soldiers in the situation, and and handled it professionally, and I understand why they didn't play. So, but that's the only piece that I look at, is that we had a chance to be, we could have had a chance not even be in this conversation. We could have been 6-6 and we're not even talking. And now, we're 5-6 and talking due to something we couldn't control and exhausted every opportunity to be able to control it. And, this is the first time I think everybody wanted to play New Mexico State. Hey, let's get New Mexico State on the schedule. It's kind of ironically funny, if you'd say, is now we can't get anybody to play us when we need to. So kind of unique and a little bit funny, because when I got here, they were lined up like club sandwiches to play us. So we'll just see how it all works out. So that'd be my take on it, and that's not being disrespectful to anybody, and because I respect the NCAA, I respect everybody. That's the point that, I don't know how you can do it, and it wouldn't look good for anybody, really.
Do y'all want to ask a question about this, or you want me to jump to the 12th game and then do it at the end?
Do you want to just go?
Okay.
Just go through the 12th game, then we can.
Okay, perfect. All right. So second, and independent of everything that we just went over regarding bowl eligibility, is a potential game on Saturday that we for sure want to play. We understand that if we were fortunate enough to win that game, it would have nothing to do with bowl eligibility, all right, based on the fact that we've already played an FCS opponent and beat Lamar University. The school that we're talking about is Valparaiso University. They currently have a waiver into the NCAA that we support that would allow them to play a 12th game. In the FCS, you can play 11. They want to play 12. There is precedent for that, because in 2018, Bethune-Cookman was granted a waiver to be able to play the University of Florida. So NCAA loves precedent, and that has paved the way. But we really need an answer, in my opinion, today from the NCAA. We need to prepare. They need to prepare flight arrangements, etc. And we have calls at the highest level. We have calls. It's their waiver, but we are doing everything we can to move the needle with the NCAA to grant that. So the question then becomes, why would you want to play a 12th game if it doesn't count towards bowl eligibility? And I'll illustrate those for you. We want to allow our football student athletes to be able to play 12 games like every other FBS program was able to play this year. Okay, everyone else got to do it except New Mexico State. That's why we want to play that game. We want to allow our football student athletes to have senior day. All right, everybody talks about student-centered approaches and how it's important. That's important to us. Okay, we would love to fulfill our season ticket holder responsibility. This is the first time in, I think, close to a decade that we've had a 6-game home football schedule on the books. We would like to fulfill that. We also have sponsorship obligations that we need to fill as well for a 6-game. And then, Tom, you're pretty popular, man. And then we would like to give Aggie fans an event for this Saturday. We all know that the UNM basketball game was canceled, and we were hoping on having a doubleheader. Now we would like to have an event for the community so they could come out and I think really show their support on what they always hoped their football team could do. Well, we did it. 4 out of the last 5 games, coming off a huge game that had the national, people talking. So we would really like to have that game. And I would hope that the NCAA would look favorably on Valparaiso's waiver requests that we support. So with that said, Coach, I don't know if you want to put a finer point on that.
Oh, I think probably for our kids is, again, playing 12 games like everybody else. And then the other part of it is that the senior day is important to those kids, and losing that for those kids, and not knowing what's going to happen. This could be their last game, may not be. That's the whole thing. And I'd hate to have them, they've played so hard for this old man. I just hate to see them lose out on that opportunity. And, that's probably the biggest thing. And then why I've got a chance to do it is, then I'll turn it all over to Mario, is there's so many things, we talk about what sports does for the community and people, is that, if you watched ESPN late, we got the sticker, Diego did. We have, John's got all that information, but from being, having the, what's the, I got it here just a minute.
National Performance of the Week.
Here we go. Rocket City Bowl National Team of the Week. Diego was the National Performer of the Week. He beat out Michigan, USC, and Boise State's quarterback. I don't know if that's ever happened here. He'll be named today. The Manning Award, the Star of the Week by the Sugar Bowl tomorrow, which is today. And, and then, there's stuff popping up all over, about, ASPN and people continue to put stuff out about New Mexico State. And, the other reason I'd really like to be able to play on Saturday is for our fans, and they have a chance. We have a chance in Las Cruces to be the largest bump of attendance in the country. I'm all into that. And I don't know where we stand right now. We may be second. I don't know. We'd have to look at it. But I want to get over the hump on that because it looks great for our program because we're bringing in recruits this weekend. So all this is, is what's happened. It's the second, the second biggest upset in college football this year. And somebody who ever went to Vegas and bet on us got a lot of money. They ought to send it all to the athletic department, send it right to Chet and or Mario. But I could keep going on the things that through this game that I want to make sure I mention for what our kids accomplished. What they have done, how hard they played. It was something that I don't think our coaches and players still understand really what happened. I had a coach tell me today, he goes, I've coached for a decade to see a team that big underdog do what they did. And we didn't just, go out there and beat them by a close margin. We physically got after them. And, people say, well, they were a little bit down or what. No, they come to play. I don't want to hear that. They came to play. We just played, better. And so with that, I just wanted to make sure what one football game could do for your program and the national news that it gets. And we talk about athletics, as important. It is the front porch of the university. And you cannot buy all that I just said, for the university in Las Cruces. But I really want that attendance still. Yeah, I really do. I think it'd be great for our community. And again, I said it'd take a village to turn this program around. We're not even close yet. We're not even close to tapping where we need to be. And so we're far from being there. You know, we all want to go, we're far from being there. But the village has started to turn a little bit, and it's changed because of everybody's work, including in here, but Las Cruces. And they're hungry. I think you talk about bowl thing is that I think our people are hungry. And if we got that opportunity to go, I think that our people would definitely show. And I think they've proven that in the past. So that's into me. Anybody got any questions for me? And then it's all Mario.
Yeah, Coach, when you first came and took this job, a lot of people questioned why you were kind of getting back into head coaching. I know you said you're still in the middle of rebuilding this team and turning it around, but if you were to go to a bowl game, I mean, what would that say about your impact on a football team?
Well, I wouldn't say anything about my impact. I'm just a part of it. You know, I've hired good people. I got good staff, and people at Las Cruces were good. But most importantly, a group of kids bought in that didn't have to. I mean, we got some guys that played a year ago that hadn't played hardly any that even bought into it and haven't been a pain in the butt. So, you know, people bought into it, and you know, it's that part of it is moved it forward. But yeah, when I took the job, I mean, I've got guys calling me, you know, that are guys that are. I'm not going to try to act like I know everybody, but I have been a long time. I got guys calling me when I took the job and said, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You know, you're 60 years old. What are you doing? Go retire on a beach or something." I said, "That ain't happening." I said, "I ain't done yet. I want to prove that I can do it, you know, for personal reasons." And so it's a deal where those same guys are calling me and texting me all over the place, all over the country, and saying, "Yeah, dang, unbelievable victory," and you know, so I just can't say what it's done for Las Cruces and the respect throughout the country is what happened on Saturday and what's happened this year. But the kids, I'll be honest, we can't get any more, we can't ask any more out of our kids than we have. And I'm not sure they can't give any more to us. That's why I want them to get rid. They can't give any more. They gave beyond some of them's athletic ability, just on true heart and guts. And that's what is incredible to me. And I will tell you, it's been a year that no matter what happens down this deal, I'll never forget a group of kids, and I've had it happen before, but I don't know about this type of kid and what they've done, you know, because you talk about people reaching their potential, is they're getting close to doing it, and some of them that, you know, athletically, you know, everybody wish they were the greatest athlete in the world, but, you know, we've got guys playing way beyond what they ever thought they could, and it's fun to watch.
You mentioned it before Mario got here a little bit, but just talk about like what this week is like for you. Why, you know, as far as trying to prepare for a game, like how are you approaching the week? Is it like a normal week for you until you hear back from all this?
Well, I think it's not a normal week. It's, you know, it's difficult not knowing, but we try to make it as normal week. You know, it's the first time we gave our kids off on Sunday. You know, we had a meeting, kind of let them know what's going on, but we gave them off Sunday because, you know, we didn't know anything. And plus, they needed a day off. We got beat up pretty good in that game, you know, because we played hard. So they needed a day off. But today we came in and went to regular business, and, you know, we started working on Valpo, and we were working on them a little bit before. So we wouldn't get behind, and you know, we'd still have San Jose's game behind. I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, we got to work ahead in case it does happen, because it's the only team it's going to happen with. So we've got to go forward with that, and then plus recruiting is what it is. When you win, good things happen, and recruiting is definitely picked up. So we've been on the phone with recruits more so than we ever had since I've been here.
Can you say how many people you're going to come in? you're gonna have in on the weekend with or without a game?
We're going to be around, because we can only handle so many. We'll be at our max around 12 or 13. That's the max we can handle with the staff we got, and really the max, we're going way over playing a game. But we can't lose that recruiting weekend. And so we got to do what we got to do. So we'll be, we'll have we'll have everybody working, I mean, the wives, the coaches, the janitor, everybody may be showing a kid around, that's legal that we can have a show around. So, you may see the grounds crew with a recruit, going around with Herb.
Is obviously if Valparaiso, if their waiver comes through and you're able to play, but the bowl game waiver doesn't come through, you still want to play. I mean, would that, I don't know, would it be a little bit of a letdown to still be playing the game, or do you think in some way it could maybe fire the guys up even more to play the game?
I don't think we'll know.
We're still under consideration no matter what happens, just to clarify.
Okay. No, I understand that, but like if
we won't know. See, here the deal is that I'd like to think we'll play really, 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 really hard, because those decisions won't be made. They'll be made on Saturday. You see what I'm saying? So there won't be any decisions whether we can make it or not before then. So it won't be if it's anything of a factor, we better play good, and it should be highly motivated to play good, because you certainly don't want to slip up and not play good. So, not that it's going to be a factor, but you know what? In the human mind of anything, everything's a factor, whether you think so or not. So, I mean, we better go out there and play well. Or we can sit not play and say, well, we'll hope because we're 5 and 6, that we'll get in. I mean, there's no guarantees on anything, so you don't want to leave any stone unturned. That way you can look back and say, did everything we could.
So just to clarify, you think you'll find out about the bowl waiver on Saturday? That's the date you expect?
Braun, what do you think when we might hear from?
It depends on when the committee meets, potentially before then, but I think that just the thinking is that the bowl announcement won't be until Sunday, right, after Saturday's games. So it could be up until Sunday when we find out.
Do I need to repeat that, or is that good enough?
yeah, possible.
So, obviously with the bowl announcements being on Sunday, we would anticipate hearing what the NCAA or the FOC committee will determine before then. So I'd say the deadline would be Saturday, but you'd like to hear something, on that front as soon as possible as well.
Have you been given any indication from anybody there, like what the feasibility of this waiver is? Have they seen something like this before?
Well, no. I mean, this is kind of the new territory, right? The 5 and 7 APR thing hasn't been around forever. It's been around a little while. But no, this is something that has not, to my knowledge, or anybody has told me from the NCAA or, the football committee that they've ever had put in front of them before. So in effect, it's a little bit new. I mean, look, you just heard it right from my mouth. Sounds really compelling, right? 5 and 6 is better than 5 and 7. It's better at a lot of things, right? Whether you're baseball average, free throw, whatever. It's also a true statement that we called every single person. Everybody else got to play 12 games. We didn't. And when we had that unfortunate incident, we called everybody. So those are very compelling things individually. Now, collectively, when the group makes a decision, that's when you hope that, they'll see it the way we see it. Right? You hope that, I don't know how much relationships come into play. Obviously, there's some people that on the committees that, I've known for a long time, that coaches known for a long time. But, being on those NCAA committees, they pretty much make less emotional and more data-driven things. This is just kind of a very unique situation. So, we certainly hope they see it our way. And then, conversely, we also hope that we get that 12th game.
If they do determine that you're ball eligible, is that ESPN contract you guys announced in 2019, is that still viable, like with ESPN? I don't know if you remember or not.
Yeah, I do remember it. Yeah, we did the press conference up in Albuquerque with Jeff Symbieta. More or less, that was a 6-year deal, and I don't know, Jason, was that 2018 or 2019? Yeah. So that certainly says, as an independent, if we are available, we're eligible for one of their games. That gave us a home. So if you're asking me if this all worked out, I would anticipate being, on an ESPN family of bowls.
And New Mexico Bowl, like with that?
Well,
have you-
yeah, that
have you
would
contacted them
be.
yet, or is it too early?
Well, certainly, we talked to Jeff Symbieta, the executive director, on a lot of things. I think that would definitely be I don't want to start putting the cart in front of the horse, but as far as destination locations, certainly that probably would be great for our fans. I think they would pack the place, not just all of Las Cruces, but, outside of Doñana County, that's our largest area of alums. So that makes a tremendous sense to us. But it's also an ESPN factor, and you've got a New Mexico Bowl factor, right? So you've got TV eyes, you've got people in the stands, so there's a lot of different things that, they probably put into their decision making, and they have obligations too. So we want to go somewhere. I don't know if we're at the point to start dictating where we would like to go. Let's just go somewhere first.
One thing I might add to that too is that, again, that, the NCAA or any of us, I have twice, and they, San Jose is once, but there's no book for the NCAA, and there's no book for me when I was a coach or anybody when, it's not something you're talking about a death of a player and cancel a game. It's not like anything else that they've probably ever seen. I wouldn't think anyway. And so when you've never seen anything, you understand everybody's got to put thought into it. What do we do on something like this? It's not like somebody just canceled a game or something, or you're trying to compare scores and opponents and all that. This is a death of a player and a game not being played because of it, and then exhausting all eligibility again. What could we have done? And so I don't think anybody's had this decision put in front of them, and so this is probably something that, what are we going to do from here, because this may not be the only time it's going to happen. Because let's say Virginia was in the same boat and they were eligible for a bowl game, they would have been in the same boat, right? Again, there's two schools right there. It may not be the last, in this crazy world, it may not be the last time something happens.
Any more questions?
Anybody on here?
Is there anyone on the Zoom that would have a question? Looks like Sasha, if you want to go ahead and ask your question when you're ready. Yeah. Sasha, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Go ahead, yep.
AD, this question's for you. I'm gonna cut the elephant in the room here and ask you about your basketball team. This is the first time we've spoken to you on camera since the whole controversy going on and with basketball season here. At least KOAT spoken to you about it. Is there any status on Michael Peak that you can share? Is he going to play this season?
We did have a 90-minute press conference the day before Thanksgiving to address pretty much any and all questions with the Chancellor, myself, and the Dean of Students, Dr. Ann Goodman. Right now with an ongoing investigation, as well as federal privacy rules around Michael's health situation, it's really precluding me from answering specific questions about him at the present time that we already haven't answered.
Sure. If we can touch on the Rio Grande rivalry. I know that's a big thing for both schools. Are there any plans to try and reset that and get it back next year?
Well, certainly, yes. We have every thought that we would resume our basketball games with the University of New Mexico. We'll be playing them in women's basketball, softball, baseball, the other spring sports coming up. We'll have a lot of time to discuss with them directly on things we can do to, certainly move past this very unfortunate incident. Obviously, today our focus is on, football, but certainly that's important for us, as well as our I-10 rivalry with UTEP that we're going to have on Wednesday in basketball here. in Las Cruces.
Cool, thank you.
I guess if I could on that note, a little bit, just while they were in Las Vegas, I know that what kind of changes did the coaching staff make in terms of curfews or anything of that nature to make sure guys were kind of where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to be there?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you this. Number one, I'm hopeful Greg Heyer will be, off of his illness so he can talk to you directly. I was in Lynchburg, Virginia, and North Carolina for Thanksgiving. So I wasn't there. I do know, and I did talk to Greg both, actually, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I know some of the things that they, attempted to do, but I'd prefer to let him get into the logistics of it. However, I talked to the team personally, and, my expectation is that they took that message, and, we won't have an issue of curfew anymore the rest of the year.
That's great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Recording stopped.
All right, that concludes this press conference. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Mario.
Could you